I'm super excited about today's sponsor. Dad and I and my mom are on this ridiculous all beef and lamb diet I have called the Lion Diet for our really horrible autoimmune disorders. You guys have heard me talk about that before. So we're very good at cooking meat. I've probably cooked more steak than 99.9% of the population, but I've never used a grill like this. Blazing Bull Grill. It's made in America, it's portable, it's a gas infrared grill that heats up to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. You know those steaks in restaurants that have a crispy layer on the outside, a Maillard reaction for the nerds out there, and perfectly rare or medium rare in the middle? This grill does that, but in your backyard or on your patio. It doesn't smoke, it's super easy to clean, and it makes high quality steakhouse style steaks or whatever else you feel like grilling, lamb chops, burgers, vegetables for you folks who aren't as restricted as us, chicken wings, whatever. They sell their patented broiler to upscale restaurants like Morton's, but you can have that kind of quality steak in your backyard. Mom and Dad are getting a grill too. These things are the best that I've seen out there. Steaks take around 3 minutes to grill, depending on how thick they are. 3 minutes for a restaurant-style steak. It's quick to set up and portable with handles on the side, so you can take it anywhere you want to. I'm obsessed with my air fryer, but there's no comparison to this grill for how professional it makes your food. If you want to impress people, check them out. You can head to blazingbullgrills.com and get $150 off when buying the Blazing Bull 1500 degree grill. Use promo code JP150 at checkout. Again, that's $150 off a Blazing Bull 1500 degree grill on blazingbullgrills.com when using promo code JP150 at checkout. I love this grill. Welcome to the Jordan B.Peterson podcast. I'm Michaela Peterson. This is season 4, episode 46. On today's episode, Dad's joined by Canadian politician and leader of the People's Party of Canada, the Honorable Maxime Bernier. He was not involved in the Canadian election debate, and he really should have been, so as a candidate for the prime ministership, Dad had him on his show. Maxime shared his vision for the future of Canada and how his party is tackling today's political landscape. He's the only candidate currently that's really pushing for freedom. They discussed free markets, governmental outreach, monetary policy, the dismantling of classical conservative ideals, and of course, the upcoming Canadian election. Don't forget to share this with a friend, and thank you for listening. This Canadian election is really important, and I think it's going to determine whether or not Canada opens up or kind of continues to disintegrate. I'm voting for Maxime Bernier. Enjoy this episode.
Hello, everyone. I'm pleased to have with me today one of the contenders for the Prime Ministership of Canada, the Honourable Maxime Bernier, the leader of a new Canadian political party, the People's Party of Canada. He was Minister of Industry, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Minister of State for Small Business and Tourism in Stephen Harper's Conservative government, and he was an MP for the riding of Beauce for 13 years and is currently running for election there. In 1985, Mr. Bernier earned a Bachelor of Commerce degree from the Université du Québec à Montréal and entered law at the University of Ottawa. He was called to the Quebec Bar in 1990. He worked for a variety of financial and banking institutions before becoming Executive Vice President of the Montreal Economic Institute in 2005. He ran for leadership of the Progressive Conservative Party in 2017. That's generally Canada's dominant or second place party, finishing second to Andrew Scheer, who the current PC leader, Progressive Conservative leader Erin O'Toole, replaced. Maxime founded the PPC in 2018, citing disagreements with Scheer's leadership. Mr. Bernier and I came into personal contact during the controversy surrounding Canada's Bill C-16, which purported to protect the rights of trans individuals, but was regarded by me and others as a threat to free speech. I invited Erin O'Toole, the current PC leader, to this podcast. He had other commitments and declined, and I invited Mr. Bernier, and he agreed to talk, so we get to meet again. And so it's really good to see you, and thanks very much for agreeing to talk.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson, Jordan. I'm very pleased to be with you. And you're right by saying that the first time we were in contact, it's when I called you in 2017, because now I know that I did a mistake at that time. I voted for that bill C-16, and I didn't know a lot about that. That was the party position of the Conservative Party of Canada at that time, and I voted in line with the party line. But after that, some of my friends told me, Maxime, I believe that you did a mistake. That bill, it's not only about gender self-identification, it's about free speech. And you must have a discussion with Mr. Peterson. And we had a phone conversation at that time, and you explained me the impact of that bill. And I must admit that you were right. And I was wrong at that time, but I was a little bit naive about all that transgender and cultural Marxism and all that woke culture. Because Jordan, when I decided to be in politics, as you just said in my bio, I was more a kind of an economist. I worked only 3 years as a lawyer in a big law firm in Montreal. But after that, I worked in a financial institution, and I was working for the Montreal Economic Institute. That's a think tank, a free market think tank in Montreal, and I was VP over there. So when I decided to be in politics, I decided to be in politics for a smaller government, more freedom, less government intervention, and more free markets. That's why I decided to go in politics. And all that cultural Marxism and now that woke culture, I didn't know anything about that. And what I liked when I was a minister was to do a deregulation in the telecom industry. And Professor Schultz at University McGill said that I was the best minister of industry for the last 30 years because of that deregulation. So more competition, prices went down for the telecom and cell phone. But all that was not part also of my platform for the leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada in 2017. My platform was very more a kind of a conservative, libertarian, less government, believing in people, not in big fat government. And I had something about extreme multiculturalism at that time, and also on immigration. But I was in contact with all that woke culture and Bill C-16 after a discussion that we had. And now today it's part of my campaign. It's part of the People's Party of Canada. And